Good evening, folks. Jason Spaur here with Templar Strategic Solutions. I'm also the Chief Security Officer for our Templar Security Specialist branding. And I had a few minutes. I wanted to jump on here real quick and touch base on a little bit of a frustration for me and clear a couple misconceptions up. Okay? Let's begin with giving you a little bit of backstory so you understand where we're at with this, guys. I turned around this afternoon at around 2 o'clock. I ended up outside of my home cleaning up some broken glass out of the roadway where, unfortunately, the current windstorm that blew through recently decided to snatch a storm window off the side of my house and launch it very firmly out into the roadway that goes in front of my home. We live on a cul-de-sac here on a dead end. And, of course, it's a narrow road. This is West Virginia, guys. And I just didn't want to leave all that broken glass out there and be potentially liable for someone's tire or for one of my kids or one of the neighborhood kids or neighborhood animals or one of our elderly neighbors to end up getting cut or injured. So I was already not in the best of moods to start with, folks. But around 3 o'clock, as I was finishing up my cleanup out in the yard and in the roadway, I ended up with a call to my direct cell, which that's not really that uncommon either because, well, a lot of people have my personal cell number. My personal cell number is included on my business cards for Templar. And I do have a few clients through my notary and paralegal services that call me at random because they need me to take care of a problem or take care of an appointment for them here in West Virginia. But the annoying part for me today was it was an individual calling on a Saturday afternoon to inquire about security services. I absolutely love working security. That's part of why myself and my business partners opened Templar and then established the Templar Security Specialist branding. But what frustrated me was brief discussion with these nice folks, and what they needed was not that extensive and would not have been overtly costly, but it would have carried a little bit of overhead on our part because it was outside of Roane County. And more importantly, it was outside of our primary operating area here in Roane County, which is Spencer on out to the county lines. But what annoyed me the worst was I told them, about where our rates would run on the hour per man or per officer, I should say, if we want to stay PC about it. And their immediate counter was not, well, I really don't have a budget that large. Here's what my budget looks like, etc., etc. Is there any way you could work with us? None of that, guys. They immediately countered back with they quote unquote knew that either Templar Strategic or Templar Security Specialists gave free services to people. All right, let me clarify something, gang. There is no such thing on this earth when it comes to what we do as a free service. That service cost somebody money, time, effort, somewhere. Doesn't change, doesn't alter. The only variable there is how much time, money, or effort it's going to take to accomplish the goals. And so what I want to do is I want to clarify that misconception. I want to debunk that misconception. The caller was absolutely right about one thing, folks. Templar, or whether it be Templar Strategic as a whole or it's our security side, we do occasionally comp certain services for certain organizations or parties, meaning nonprofit organizations, churches, things like that. If we're able to provide added service, such as a security presence or aid with traffic control, things like that, or have a uniform presence working the crowds for them just to kind of deter any unwanted behaviors, yes, if we have the available manpower, if we have the available time, we will try to do our best to send at least one member of personnel out for that. 9 out of 10 times, it's going to be me that goes out on a special event like that, simply because I'm not going to send somebody that draws a regular paycheck and say, hey, I need a volunteer for some free service. That's just bad business. But the thing being is, anytime we comp a service, even if it is something as simple as just a security presence at a public event, it's never simply one person within this organization that makes that decision. At least 2 of the 3 owners have to come to agreement that, yes, we're going to comp X number of hours. And then we have to decide which one of us, again, as I say, it's usually me that goes because, well, I'm just the old grump that does best at those kind of things. We have to decide which one of us is going to go. Now, the problem with those comp services, let's say we go work a special event that's 35 to 45 minutes away. That event costs somebody money. Whether you ever see it or the person who's receiving the services ever sees it or the entity that's receiving those services ever sees that cost, we still have travel cost. We have lost billable hours there because obviously, we've got somebody in uniform working, but they're not getting paid because we're not billing for those hours, which means if we do pay someone to go out, we're taking that out of company coffers, not out of inbound revenue. And I just want to clear it up with you guys. We have multiple options for service just on the security side alone, whether it's event security, our patrol services, static security. We are a full-on, boots-on-the-ground security company. But guys, it's very, very, very simple. Every event, every undertaking under that security company costs money to operate. Insurance, bonds, travel costs, uniform expense, equipment expense, uniform maintenance. There is an entire stack of expenses. And that being said, I'll be very blunt. Our average minimum billing rate for an unarmed security officer starts at about $19 per hour per officer and goes up from there depending upon the skill set necessary to complete your assignment. For any private party to contact us and not say, hey, look, I've got a budget of such and such, I need some assistance, I need a uniform presence, I need traffic control, I need a marked vehicle, whatever. Gang, I'm not trying to be ugly, I'm not trying to be hateful, but you start asking a lot when, even if you look at that minimum $19 to $20 an hour billing, because 5 hours, that's $100 worth of service. And that's at our bare minimum billing. Bare minimum billing rates like that usually require us to be guaranteed 6 months to a year worth of contract, minimum of 40 billable man hours per week, and preferably more than one officer on your prescribed shift or on your site during your hours of service. And I know this sounds kind of petty, but we are very selective about who we provide complimentary or free services to as a whole. Yes, we do provide service upon request for a couple different nonprofit organizations. We're not going to bother naming them in this video, but end of the day, I'm just going to be blunt. It's completely at our discretion, and if you call demanding that service instead of inquiring whether or not we might have some available comp hours or calling us with a legitimate need for us, to come out and help you with this concern or your security problem, you're probably going to get the standard issue answer, which is email us with a inquiry, give us a layout of what you need. We'll be happy to prepare you a quote, and if need be, we'll sit down at the table with you and we'll try to negotiate services that better fit your budget. When it comes to those free services, just for an example, if a neighborhood church here in Spencer was to call us, be it on the office line or be it direct, and say, hey, we've been having some problems overnight. We've had some vandalism on our property. Yes, guys, if we have a vehicle that's already out patrolling that area, or it's close enough that one of the office team can go out and do it, by all means, yes, we're going to try to help you if we can. We can't guarantee how much coverage we'll be able to give you, how often we'll be able to check your property. Yes, we would help. If you have a large community event and you're a nonprofit organization, if we can send one or two of our guys out to help deter some of the behavior, help give you a uniform presence, of course we're happy to help if we have the available manpower. But, and that courtesy is extended even to our fellow business owners here in Spencer and the surrounding areas. If you're having a problem and we have the extra manpower, yeah, we'll send someone down. But in all reality, guys, we're not a nonprofit organization. We're not a charity organization. And while we want to help you and we're going to do everything we can to be positive members of the community, we are still a for-profit organization. We'd love to discuss what services we can provide for you. We'd love to sit down with you and help you formulate a plan and help you make decisions based on your own capabilities versus our capabilities and, of course, your cost points. But truthfully, guys, we're not going to just simply give away services. We can't. No business that continually gives away services without any return is going to stay in operation for very long. And because of that, I felt compelled to step on here for just a moment, explain to you folks that might be under the misunderstanding as to how our complimentary services work. That's how they work. It's at our discretion. And if you call and demand it, folks, I'm sorry. We really can't help you. We have too much overhead on our end. We pay 10 to 15% higher than most of our competitors just on base salaries. We have some of the most comprehensive standards for training in the entire state. We focus on the preservation of life and property. We're here to help. We're here to give you a hand up, not a handout, guys. If this post costs us some followers, so be it. But at the end of the day, it had to be said. Hope you have a wonderful afternoon. Thanks for taking the time to listen to this 14 or 15 minute video. All of you stay safe. By all means, if you need us for anything at all, please visit our website at www.templarstrategicsolutions.com. Contact us through there. Give us a shout at 304-591-9787. Or give me a direct call at 304-373-8393. I'll be more than happy to discuss your security concerns with you and hopefully get you a contract or a bid. Stay safe, guys.